Hi, welcome to this featured demo of Sync 365. We'll start with the dashboard, which gives you a quick overview of what's been happening in your account. At the top here, we've got your license changes month by month. In the center, you can see a breakdown of the companies, the ones that you've added in, the ones that you have not added, and any that you've excluded, along with the license statuses of used and unused license, and our license mapping of any that are mapped and that are not mapped. Down the bottom, you'll see our operational metrics, which show license changes, contact sync, and Azure additions, and show the total amount of time you're saving every month by using Sync 365. We'll jump into billing profiles quickly, as this is where we tie in to your products in your PSA. With Microsoft NCE, you'll typically have a range of SKUs, one for your annual commit with an annual billing, your annual commit with your monthly billing, and a monthly commit with your monthly billing. So for each of these, best practice is to have a different SKU in your product, but you can also do it via a different billing profile in Sync 365. A couple of features we have, if you want to do a customized billing profile, is you can override the price that's recorded in the PSA and use a custom price if you have any of those scenarios. Additionally, you can adjust it by a percentage, either positive or negative, on the price in your PSA. This allows for a really easy way to do, for instance, a 5% discount or a 5% markup on a license, and when that SKU in ConnectWise or AutoTask changes, we'll automatically adjust the percentage to be in line with the new price. For billing Azure consumption, similar thing is here. We've got our billing profile for Azure, and we've got a range of ways of marking up the cost to sell to the customer. You can do it by a percentage markup, along with marking up your reserved instances and software licenses if they're available. Or you can do a fixed markup amount, for instance, adding $20 on top of the cost. Or you can set a price for the whole amount. So this could be a scenario where you're doing something like Azure Virtual Desktop and you're billing them per user, and you want this to be a $0 price so they don't get billed for the consumption, but you're capturing the costs of that into the agreement. We'll jump over to companies now, because this is where all the magic happens. We tie into your Microsoft Partner Center by granting Partner Center consent, and then we'll pull in your list of tenants that you have access to. From here, you can add a company, or you can bulk add multiple companies at once, and link what PSA customer you want to link to which tenant. We'll jump into the Simpsons here and get a good overview of how this works. So you'll see that we've brought in all of the license details, along with the active licenses, unassigned licenses, and we even bring in the subscription information that make up those licenses. If you're a direct Microsoft partner, in here you will also see a source of partner type, and that will have the subscriptions that you're providing your customers from the partner side. When there's a matching tenant and partner one, we will tie those two together to be the one subscription, but you can see both IDs here. When you have a scenario where you have two different subscriptions or more that make up a license, for example, you might have an annual term for a bulk of the licenses and then a monthly term for a smaller amount of licenses. In Sync 365, you can simply split these out, and that will let you assign a billing profile to both of the different subscriptions individually. That way you can bill the discounted annual commitment price and also bill the higher monthly term price. Now we'll talk about mapping a license. This is how we connect a license to your customer agreement in the PSA and automate the billing. Using our quick mapping option with the drop down here, we can select a billing profile and the agreement in your PSA that we want to tie that to. We have a range of options that are available as well. Here you can add usernames to the invoice description. This will add a list of all of the people that have this license assigned onto the invoice, so it makes it real simple for the customers to know who makes up that count. For ConnectWise users, we can also add usernames to prorated edition. That's when there's a change during the middle of the month, say 2 licenses are added. We'll also try to pick up those usernames and add that to that extra 2 licenses for the month, so you can see who they were for. We can number the users, just to make it easier for readability. And we can show any unassigned license counts. So in this scenario, there would be 5 unassigned licenses that show up on the invoice. Here you can also set a minimum license quantity. This will keep the license quantity above that minimum if it ever drops below it. Or if you include some licenses, we can include a number of licenses here. Once we save that mapping, that's going to sync across to the agreement in your PSA, and from then on out, we're going to take care of automatically managing that license. Any changes that happen throughout the month will automatically be updated in the agreement, and the customer will be billed. This will sync across to your PSA daily. And what this means is if you have any license changes throughout the month, we're going to pick up those changes as they're happening. So if you add 10 licenses for a customer in the middle of the month, instead of them only getting a bill from next month on and you absorb that cost for those extra 10 licenses, we're going to update that charge on their agreement from that middle of the month time that it happens, and we're going to pick up the price of that as well, so we're no longer out of pocket. While we're in here, I'll highlight the monthly reports. Monthly reports are a great way to increase transparency with your customers. Here you can schedule a report to send on any day of the month, and it'll include a list of licenses and the users they're assigned to. You have a range of options here. We can group them by the license type, or we can just group it alphabetically. And we can also show custom licenses in the report. We'll get to custom licenses shortly, and I'll show you what they're all about. If you have any customers that would like to be billed by department or billed by office, we have a great feature unique to us on a way you can do that. This is also commonly used for a franchisee and franchisors, where it's all in the one Microsoft tenant and they want to split out a whole bunch of the licenses and bill them to individual companies. We've got our license filter option that we can use here, where we can use from Azure AD, office, department, state, or city, and we can use whatever data is in that field to filter out the licenses. So you can see here we've got a subset of licenses that have just been assigned to these Central Coast users, and that lets us break out and map each of these individually and assign that to a specific agreement in the PSA. And then we can add additional filters. This one's for the QLD team, and so then we've got the licenses that are related to that, and likewise we can map them to the relevant agreements and bill those also. Next, I'll show you a fantastic feature that we have called custom licenses. Think about different ways that you bill for different products you have. Many users that bill this for managed user support. It could be related to your Exclaimer email signatures. You could do it for mailbox protection or similar. Our custom licenses are a unique way that you can generate a license quantity based on a number of different ways. You're able to create the count from active user mailboxes or active shared mailboxes, or a combination of both active user and shared mailboxes. This is typically used for any mailbox protection softwares that bill for every active mailbox you have. You can copy one of the existing Microsoft licenses or multiple ones to combine them together. We can use Azure AD users, and we can get that as only licensed users, or we can filter it to only users with a specific domain name in their UPN. And we can use an Azure AD group and derive the count from the users in that group. This will also count device objects that are in the group. Adding a custom license then gives you a normal line item to use, just like the Microsoft licenses. So we can add whatever billing profile we want and the options that we want there. If you have a product that you're billing to your customers that aligns with one of the ways you can derive these counts, you can automate that license billing through our custom licenses. This can be a major time saver for you and also generate a lot of additional revenue if you have noisy customers that constantly change their licenses up and down. This covers the core features of the Microsoft billing side of things. We'll quickly jump into the Azure side. For billing the Azure consumption costs, there's a couple methods of doing this. Our original way is using the reconciliation CSV file, and we can pass all of this information, tidy up the invoice descriptions, and then post that to their agreements. That's what I'll show you here. Coming shortly, we'll be able to have a direct connection to each of the tenants, and monthly we'll automatically pass that information, send it for approval, and then update those agreements. I'll show you in the settings here, we've got a range of different options for our invoice descriptions. We can go down to a very detailed invoice description and show lots of information on it. Or we can combine and just show the service names, which is our recommended view because it makes it nice and tidy and easy for a customer to understand. Or we can break that one step further and go a combined service name and service type. Let's upload a CSV file so we can see how that'll work. You'll see that we grab the file, process all of the information in it, and tie the tenants to their relevant companies. You'll see here for Futurama, we've got the 20% markup. We're showing how much markup, what the cost is, and the total that's going to get posted into your PSA. Here we have the detailed invoice description selected, so you'll see it's got very granular information about what's on that invoice for them. Likewise for The Simpsons, we have all that same information and we're using the combining of the type. So it's nice, simple, high-level categories of what's being billed. Makes it nice and easy on an invoice and easier for a customer to understand. Clicking the Save Azure Billing will allow us to push that over to the PSA and then it'll be ready for invoicing. I'll jump over to our sync overview. This page provides a range of different views and reports to simply see what's been set up in the system and other information. Our agreement sync is going to show everything that's been mapped and set up to sync with agreements. We can see unused licenses, any licenses that we've excluded, discounted licenses if we're applying a discount, and upcoming expiries are going to show any subscriptions that are showing up in the next 2 months that are going to expire. Our subscription overview page is going to show all subscriptions that we've pulled in, and if you're a direct partner here, you will also get all of the billing cycle, term, commitment end dates, and related information to your partner level subscriptions, along with if their auto renew is turned on or not. Finally, in this demo, I'm going to show you our alert notification options. We have a view of managing by exception. So we want to save you more and more time. So the alerts are going to allow you to do that. We have our no billing profile assigned. So this will be if there's any licenses that are sitting there and don't have a license mapping assigned to them, we're going to alert you on that. The unused licenses. This will alert you if there's unused licenses for a customer and give you the opportunity to reduce that license quantity if you're able to. Under provision licenses, we'll show you if there's too many licenses versus how many have been assigned to a customer's users. Invalid auth is going to be about any day-to-day issues that we have updating data or syncing agreements. Tenant not added will look at any tenants that are on your Microsoft partner list that you haven't added into the system. This is great for when you onboard a new customer because we'll let you know that that's shown up and remind you to connect that into your PSA so we're automating the billing. Likewise, a tenant removed from the partner list is if one drops off your partner list, we'll let you know that that's happened. And if that's unexpected, you can come in and approve or deny if that should be removed or not. And our shared mailboxes with licenses assigned. This will check all shared mailboxes across your added companies and if they've got licenses assigned to them. The typical scenario here is a user has been offboarded and a text converted them to a shared mailbox but left the license assigned to them. This is a great way to pick up on that and claim back some of those licenses that should not be assigned there. Additionally, if you're a direct partner, we have a great end user portal that allows you to provide access to your customers so they can see and manage their subscriptions and even order new subscriptions. If you'd like to find out more about that, please just ask. This covers the demo of the core features of Sync 365. We look forward to hearing from you soon.